point, like mid-quarantine, where if I wear makeup or clothes that aren't pajamas, I just don't recognise myself anymore, and I spend a lot of time touching my own face, which you shouldn't do right now, but like I keep doing it because I just don't recognise myself when I don't look like I've just crawled out of a cave anymore. Hi, I'm Jess. I hope that you're well, and although this is technically the third video that I'm filming for this channel, I've decided to make the Booktube Newbie Tag just so that I can introduce myself to this online community a little bit more and get my thoughts straight about what this channel is and what I want it to be. I have the list of questions on my phone here. I'm not actually sure who made the original tag, but I will leave the questions below, and if I find out who did make this original tag, which I think is a few years old and has been in circulation for quite a while now, I will edit the down bar, doobly-doo, I don't know, just to include the original maker. So there are 10 questions to get through, and I have this really unfortunate habit of rambling, especially when I'm nervous, which cameras tend to make me, so I'm just going to get right into the questions now. So the first question is, why did you start this channel? And I kind of covered this very briefly in my first video. So basically I'm going into my last year of university this coming September. I study literature and Spanish, it's a joint degree, and I really want to do my dissertation on romance novels. I'm not exactly sure of the specific question or aspect of that genre that I'm going to delve into at this moment, but I know that that is where my research and personal interests lie. And so for me, having a booktube channel just seemed like a really great opportunity to like digitalize that interest and get more involved with the community. Since I've got into reading romance novels and honestly back into reading more for pleasure in general, I have subscribed to so many booktube channels and podcasts and watched so many interviews, and something that I've really grown to see is that when you know where to look, any sort of literary community, not just the ones based in romance, tend to have really active and fun and exciting online spheres, and I just really wanted to get involved in that. This actually isn't my first attempt at a booktube channel. Somewhere in the deep and dark recesses of the internet there's not one but two attempts of mine of making a channel back when I was much younger, pre-Fringe, crippling cynicism. Both of those faded over time, largely because I was going through some big life changes of, moving to university, changing house. I moved abroad for a short while earlier this year, and I've just really missed booktube, so I thought I would start afresh, start a new chapter to fit in with the bookish theme, and make this channel. The next question is, what are some unique and fun things you can bring to booktube? And I don't know if I would necessarily describe myself as unique and fun, which is like a really self-deprecating thing to say, like a very pity party thing to say, and that's not how I intended it at all. It's just the truth. I'm not trying to like innovate the booktube sphere at all. I don't have the software to do that. I don't have the know-how as of yet. For me, it's not about bringing something unique and fun to the platform. It's more just about contributing a voice, contributing an opinion, and I don't know, hoping to facilitate a space where more people can contribute their voices and opinions and just have fun discussing. I'm not trying to do anything particularly unique. I just want to take this genre that is so loved around the world, romance, and I don't know, express my own love for it. So yeah, that's kind of a crappy answer to the question, but it's honest, and that's what I'm trying to be here, so yes. Okay, the next question is, what are you most excited for about this new channel? And honestly, just the opportunity to gush about books all the time is something that I am just dying to do. I do have a lot of friends who are into reading and into literature, but I have very few friends who are specifically into the romance genre or its subsections, and especially being in quarantine at this current time. I'm filming this in April 2020, so we're in the midst of the really difficult COVID-19 crises, and I am isolating at home with my immediate family, none of whom are readers. So having this online community and online sphere to be able to talk about something that I'm really passionate about while staying inside and staying safe is something that I'm really excited to do. The next question is, why did you love reading? And for me, it's a pretty classic answer, but it's a reason that many people love reading, and that is escapism. I actually have a really nice life. I have a roof over my head, I have an education, I have an amazing family and really lovely friends. So it's not that I'm trying to escape from the world, but I definitely am someone that struggles with sort of anxiousness and stress. I stress like no other, and just being able to escape into a world where the stakes and the situations being experienced aren't my own, but I can still look at and feel invested in and appreciate them, is something that I've always loved about reading and will always love about reading. So definitely escapism is what keeps me so hooked on books, like all of these years later. The next question is, what would you ask your favourite booktubers? And there are honestly so many booktubers that I watch and love. Lately I've binge watched all of Chandler Ainsley's videos and I absolutely love her, but there are so many people that I watch on a regular basis, so many people for whom I've just seen a few videos and really want to see more. And I guess if we're looking at this question generally rather than specific booktubers, the question that I would ask them would probably be, what draws you and continues to keep you invested in this digital sphere of booktube? Why booktube? Why not blogging? Why not you know, I don't know, newspaper reviews if there are still a thing. I'm really interested in what it is about YouTube as a medium that continues to attract so many readers when reading isn't necessarily a digital medium. I guess you have e-readers, but it's not digital in the way of film and TV, in that it doesn't start life as kind of a visual media, if that makes sense. So I'd just be really interested to know what it is that keeps them so passionate about this community. I think the answers would just be really positive and I don't know, yeah, nice to hear, I guess. The next question is, what do you think, oh dear god, I need to read this out loud, there are many words. The next question is, what challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? I'm going to be really honest here. I'm typically really good at time management. That's something that I'm like really diligent with when it comes to like school and academics and jobs. But when it comes to creative projects, I'm pretty bad at seeing them through. I don't know what it is. I think sometimes when it's something creative, I'm almost more anxious about it than I am about schoolwork or my career, because it feels like I'm putting something much more personal into it. And sometimes, whether that's, you know, writing or making blogs like this, it can almost make me hesitant to invest more of my time in that creative project, because it's a scary thing to like sit in front of a camera, in front of a blank page. So I think that the biggest challenge that Booktube and this channel will pose to me is, you know, having the persistence, I guess, to see it through consistently and to continue making stuff that I'm passionate about and to continue giving my creative passions like a spot of priority in my life. Question number 8 is, when did you start reading? And it's a very cheesy answer, a very cliche answer, but it's also an honest one, and that is that I can honestly never remember a time when I haven't been a reader. My mum isn't a huge fiction reader, but when I was growing up she was really passionate about getting me and my brother reading early. This is like the late 90s, early 2000s, so it wasn't necessarily an era of technology yet, but it was coming in, and she really didn't want us to be wrapped up into digital things when we could also have words on the written page. So I grew up being read to very regularly, and I've just, since I was 3-4 years old and I learned to read, I've always had a book in my hand. The first time I can remember being really passionate about reading is, as it is for so many people my age, with the Harry Potter books. I read the first book when I was 7 years old. I flew through it. I pre-ordered the final book. I went to see every film from the 5th one because that was when I was old enough to see the films, and that for me was the first time that I got a sense of a book existing beyond itself and the way that a book can reach so many different people and have so much power that way. So yeah, that's my answer for that question. I've always loved reading, but my love of reading was kind of made more profound by the rise of Harry Potter. The next question is, where do you read? Which is a really interesting question. I once met someone who only read books in the bath, which is like, I get the appeal of it, but I'm also like really clumsy and would just be so scared of dropping the book in the bath, especially my e-reader. Like, I do not think I could take my e-reader in the bath and not suffer some sort of like heart attack halfway through. I typically read in my bed. I get most of my reading done in the hour or two before bed. I just like anywhere that I can snuggle up, preferably with a lot of pillows. Not so fast about the blankets, but I've got to have like 2, 3, 4 pillows around me just so I can like get that correct position, the optimal reading position. But yeah, my bed is the place where I get most of my reading done, and alone as well. I don't really like to read when there's a lot of people around me, just because I get super invested and sometimes I laugh, or sometimes if I really like a line I'll reread it out loud, and I don't really want to do that when there are people watching because I don't want them to think I'm super weird, at least not right away. So yeah, most of my reading is done alone in my bed, which sounds really sad, but honestly it's the best way to end a day. So, and the final question is, what kind of books do you like to read? So as you can probably tell from the title of this channel and from everything I've said on this channel so far, romance is the genre that I currently feel the most passion for, both academically and personally, but I do read a bit of everything. I think on this channel I will mainly be discussing romance and all of its subgenres, from historical to contemporary to paranormal, but I do read a bit of everything. Like I said, I'm a literature student, so I'm regularly reading plays, poetry and novels from the medieval era to now. My favourite genres other than romance, I don't know, I really like gothic novels. They're something I absolutely adore. I like literary fiction when it's not too pretentious. I feel like literary fiction sometimes straddles that really difficult line between genuinely profound and stupidly pretentious, but if you get like one that sits nicely in the middle, I like literary fiction a lot. I love historical fiction. I really love a good play as well. But yeah, on this channel what you will see me reading the most is romance novels across all the subgenres. Okay, so that is the Booktube Newbie Tag now. I hope that you feel like you know me a little bit better, that you know this channel a little bit better. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to making more of these videos and to spending more time in the kind of booktube sphere. So until next time, thank you so much for watching and goodbye!